These highlights are sponsored by Edinburgh solicitors Morton Fraser. This coverage is brought to you by JGL Groundworks Limited, civil engineers and infrastructure specialists.
This afternoon we're at Meggetland, where Ever come through to take on Boroughmuir in the semi-final of the Scottish Premier Cup. And the winners, they'll go through to meet Melrose in the final at Murrayfield next Saturday. Ayr have been here before in a semi-final. 6 years ago, they lost to Boroughmuir, who went on to beat Dundee in the final. Boroughmuir will want to do that again. But Ayr, they're the cup holders. They'll want to hold on to it.
Malcolm Clapperton leading out of Boroughmuir's side. They have had a modest season by their standards, but this is their chance to make it a big end to the season. And early on, they put a lot of pressure on Ayr. AJ McFarlane's box kick there, taken by Jordan Webster, coming inside, beating 2 or 3 Ayr players. Malcolm Clapperton looking for support, getting it there from Ross Neal. Neal, oh, lovely, lovely hands from Boroughmuir, and what a try for Stephen Ruddick in just 5 minutes. That was a thing of beauty, and it looked so simple, but there was an awful lot of very, very good play went into that try. Not an easy kick for Ali Warnock, but straight through the posts. 7-0 Boroughmuir after only 5 minutes. Boroughmuir pack keeping Ayr on the back foot. Out to Ruddick. Oh, asking serious questions of the Ayr defence there. Up to the 5-metre line, Sam Johnson. Out to Warnock, inside ball to Nick Fraser. And the whole Boroughmuir pack there. Johnson again, this time out to Jordan Webster, looking for a gap in their defence, not finding it this time. But Ayr having to put a few bodies in there and not getting away quickly enough, said Andy McPherson. Simple kick for Ali Warnock. 10 points to 0 after only 9 minutes. Boroughmuir ahead of the clock. Ayr gradually pulled themselves back into the game, and round about the 20-minute mark, up on the Boroughmuir 22, Damien Kelly deciding this time he took a hand in proceedings. Over the 22, AJ McFarlane, Ross Currow, Mark Stewart, oh, Stephen Manning coming off his wing, Mark Bennett in support, knocked over there, and a wee bit of guddling about on the ground by Stephen Ruddick, earned him a yellow card and gave Ayr the chance to get on the board with that Ross Currow penalty. Only a couple of minutes later though, Ayr got themselves into all sorts of fankles. Finally getting the ball away, but not a great pass from Andy Dunlop, tidied up by Rob Calhoun, but now inside their own 22, and penalty Boroughmuir. Thanks very much to Ali Warnock. That makes it 13 points to 3 after 22 minutes. But it is only 4 minutes later. Ayr back in the Boroughmuir red zone. Andy Dunlop, and oh, it looks so simple. Stephen Manning popped the ball down in the corner. An unpoliced blindside, and no doubt the try given. 3 minutes to go. Boroughmuir again inside their 22, and Ayr offending at the line out. Not a difficult one for Ali Warnock. Makes it look so simple. And it takes Boroughmuir into half-time. 16 points to 8 ahead. That gap of 8 points could be crucial.
Scrum Magazine. Subscribe online at scrummagazine.com.
These highlights are sponsored by Edinburgh solicitors Morton Fraser. This coverage is brought to you by JGL Groundworks Limited, civil engineers and infrastructure specialists.
It hadn't been a great first half for Ayr, and they knew they were going to have to pull something out. And early on in the second half, The passes started to stick the way they weren't in the first half. Bennett slicing through there. Out to Stephen Manning, and Manning not quite able to juggle it. Again giving the ball plenty of air. Rob Calhoun. Ball again to Bennett. Again it's taking 2 or 3 men to hold down the air man. And that's leaving gaps elsewhere. Rob Calhoun over the 22. Pretty solid defence from Boroughmuir though. Malcolm Clapperton in there. AJ McFarlane looking for a quick ball. Currow. Manning off his wing. Mark Stewart outside him, sniffing the gap. Yeah, just enough room for the air centre to get over and pull the margin back to only 3 points. Air now starting to put it together in the forwards, keeping the pressure on the Boroughmuir line. Stephen Adair knocked back there though. Boroughmuir quite determined. They're going to hold on to that 3-point margin. Gordon Reid edging closer and closer, with Robin Hislop and Neil Roger, the men, stopping him there. Ali Warnock putting in the tackle on Rob Calhoun. Desperate stuff from the Boroughmuir defence, but it's working. Yep, knock on by Ayr. 8 minutes to go. Stephen Ruddick of Boroughmuir had picked up a red card, and off that line out take by Scott Sutherland, McFarlane got them moving again. Mark Stewart, oh, beautiful soft hands for Bennett to come in and through the gap, where you have to say Stephen Ruddick might just have been if he'd been on the field. Ross Currow popping over the conversion, and they're ahead for the first time in the game. Boroughmuir desperate to get back into it, but oh, that pass spotted by Mark Stewart, intercepted there up to the 22. Long ball out, taken by Andy Wilson. On his way to the line, but oh, great tackle there by Jordan Webster. Robbie Calhoun tidying it up, laying it back again. The air heavy mob arrive. AJ McFarlane out to Currow. Currow looking for a gap, it's not there, taken out by Clapperton. AJ McFarlane taking the ball right. Richard McCallum, Scott Sutherland, and Dougie Steele lurking in the wing and in at the corner. Touch judge Andy Island gives the nod. The try awarded, and Ayr are absolutely delighted. 2 minutes into injury time, still a chance for Boroughmuir to snatch something from the game. Sam Johnson going one way, then the other, stopped by Andy McFarlane. Ali Warnock in there playing scrum half, out to David Reekie, and one sub to another. Finds replacement hooker Greg Jones on the wing, in for a cracking try, but too little too late for Boroughmuir, and that win didn't mean that Kenny Murray was a happy man.
Pretty poor, to be honest. Poor start. Had a decent middle part of the game and then a poor end to the game. Didn't really play much rugby. Looked a bit tired and a bit jaded, but probably did enough just to win the game. They closed some of our key players down quite well. Mark Stewart in the midfield in particular. Skippy, they got on top of him quite well. So they'd worked hard in that. So we maybe didn't react quick enough to that. But all credit to them. I thought they played well, particularly in the first half, and deserved where they were in the first half.
So you've got the final against Melrose on a week today. Are you going to have to up your game by how much? Because you're certainly going to have to up it.
Absolutely, that's what we were saying after the game there. You know, we didn't perform well with Dave. We played like against Melrose, we wanted a pumping, but it's a cup final, and we've been there last year, so we know what it takes. So we'll be up for it next week. We'll get 1 or 2 guys potentially coming back in next week. Dan Anderson, for example, Stuart Fenwick. So we'll be strengthening our squad hopefully for the cup final.
So Ayr through to the cup final at Murrayfield, a repeat of last year's match against Melrose. I tell you what, that is not going to be one for the faint-hearted, but we will be there. This is Ron Evans for Scottish Rugby Television at Meggetland.